Welcome to Zonk. My ex-boyfriend and I of 2.5 years broke up about a month ago, and I'm having a hard time dealing with it all. I'm 21 and he's 26. He was my first real relationship, like the best in everything. He and I would do everything together at first. Go out to eat, play video games, talk for hours, watch anime. He supported me in everything, and I him. I moved in with him and his parents after a while because my dad just thought it was time for me to move out at the ripe age of 19. I talked to his parents, and they okayed it. Him being an only child, they had plenty of room. Things started to go downhill when I cheated on him in December of 2008 with an ex-boyfriend that lives in South Dakota. At the time it happened, the ex in SD was going to burn pictures of my junior prom with him and send racy pictures of me to my family. I felt I couldn't go to my boyfriend at the time, and I went anyways. I still feel so bad for what I did. After it happened, me and my ex continued to talk behind his back. I got caught, and all of it was wrong. This started his parents not liking me and not trusting me as much. I still felt bad. My boyfriend forgave me and let me back in his life. I had also quit my job for him to prove that I would do anything for him. I found another job, and 6 months in was let go, for stupid reasons. We moved into a nice trailer while I was unemployed and looking for work, and I hated the change. Then the problem started to get bigger. We didn't do things as much anymore after I found work again. He would ask me to do little things. I would ignore him. I would not spend time with him. I felt depressed. He would ask if I was okay, and I would shove him off. I became unemployed again. I filed for unemployment, which I didn't get. I applied for school, which I couldn't afford, and started looking for a job once again after things started not to work out. My boyfriend, being a sweetheart, helped me, but I ignored him. His family found me 3 jobs, which I had to just show up and had them. Friends that I had that referred me to a really nice job which I didn't mean to turn down. Then we went to an anime con, and we met some really great people, and we ended up taking a girl home with us that didn't live that far away. We, as a couple, slept with her, and my boyfriend got to know her. His parents started to really like her and hated me more. After a while, I noticed he just didn't look at me the same. His parents kicked me out when I turned down the things they had offered me. My boyfriend and I were still together. He just wanted the best for me. But at the time, that's what his parents wanted. Me out of the house. My father, as I feel, put the final nail in the coffin by threatening his family to shoot them over a stupid sewing machine. I was ordered then by his family to pick everything up and take my things with me. Now his parents are pressuring him to go out with the girl who is 18, who he has known for a month. She caters to him on everything. He tells me that he cares for me, but he needs space and time. He also wants to continue being friends and see if anything regrows. But his parents threaten him that if he dates me again, he would be looking for a new place to live. But I'm jealous. I'm even more depressed, and I'm going crazy. I need help. I want to give him those things, and I don't want him with another girl. I want another chance. I want to show him that he can trust me, that I'm a wonderful person. I also want to show his stubborn parents that I'm not a horrible person. I hate being single so far. I just got a job and now looking for an apartment. But I just want him back and make things right. Edit. Sorry, I got wrapped up in my ranting. My question is really, do I give him the space and time to let him heal and regroup, while still being his friend? Or do I let him go and let us do our own thing for a while? It's understandable that OP is feeling a lot of pain and confusion right now. However, it's important to recognize that the relationship had some serious issues that may not be easily resolved. Cheating on a partner can have long-lasting consequences, and it's possible that the trust in the relationship may have been permanently damaged. Additionally, it's not healthy to feel so dependent on one person for emotional stability and happiness. Comments. Just because he said he forgives you doesn't mean he can trust you. Some people can never trust again when they've been cheated on. They want to trust, but they can't. Assuming you've spent the last 21 months proving that you can now be trusted, there's not much more you can do, except to continue to do that and to live your life the best you can, and hope that he or someone else sees that you are a good person, worthy of their trust. You list a lot of mistakes you've made in that relationship. Some break trust and others show disrespect to him, his family, and your friends. The bigger picture you've drawn is that you're somewhat immature. That's a lot of negativity to rectify, and now you've got competition. Getting a job and looking for an apartment only shows you're starting to mature as a person. You've got a long uphill battle to fight if you want to get back into that cozy status with him and his family. Take this as one of life's lessons. Let him go, better yourself, and try for someone else. You need to be on your own for a while, figure out who you are, and possibly get some counseling. You're pretty messed up. Right now you have the best of intentions, but what's really changed yet? You haven't worked on yourself. You're still trying to prove things instead of just being yourself. Let him go. Learn to be independent and strong, and then maybe you'll be ready to participate in a healthy adult relationship. Story 2. I'm married to, and still in love with, the most amazing man ever. No kids yet. We've been together for over 7 years, married for over 5. We're both in our late 20s and have done the LDR thing through at least half of our relationship, since he joined the military a few months after we met. With 2 deployments under our belts without so much as a wandering eye, I thought this third one would be a breeze. Not only was it the most emotionally hellish experience of my life, I ended up cheating. Something I never in my life could have imagined I would ever do. There were 2 men. I knew them both before the incident, but I didn't physically cheat with either of them. It was all over the internet. One guy, it only happened once with. We were chatting, things got flirty, went further, pics were exchanged, and that was it with him. After beating myself up for a couple of months, to the point of feeling suicidal, I finally told my husband. I had been afraid to bother him with anything while he was away. I figured it was stressful enough. He said he was disappointed, but said he wasn't really mad, and it wasn't as big a deal as I had apparently thought. All he wanted was for me to cut ties with this guy and move along. So I did. About a month later, with a different guy I knew, I ended up doing it again. Only this time, more than once, numerous pictures were exchanged, and we even Skyped. I felt horrible. I don't even know why we did it the first time. In all honesty, he made me feel great. I felt wanted, and the whole experience was a little exhilarating while it was happening. But it wasn't worth it. Not in the least. And I knew it wasn't while it was all going on, so I don't know why I just kept doing it. I definitely felt suicidal again. I finally confided in a friend about a week before my husband came home, but I thought it would be better if I just kept this one from my husband. I should have told him straight out. I'm not good at keeping secrets from him, so he could tell immediately that something was wrong. That, coupled with the paranoia he was feeling from the malaria pills he had to take, drove him to do some investigating on my computer, which he's always had total access to since before this I had never had anything to hide from him. I don't blame him for that at all, especially after the first incident. He found chat logs and confronted me when I came home from work that day. He was obviously crushed, but amazingly so calm and so concerned about how I would handle it. He also forgave me. He said we would work through it. I just had to cut ties with this guy too. This time was a lot harder though. I was, and still am, a lot more attached emotionally to this guy, not in a romantic way at all. I considered him a good friend before all the other stuff started. I reluctantly told him what happened and that we couldn't be in touch anymore, and we haven't been since then. For only about a month and a half at this point. I want him back in my life though, as a friend. I miss him terribly already, which makes me feel horrible and guilty. I'm starting to feel a bit obsessive about him too. I think about him a lot, wonder how he's doing, check up on his Facebook to the best of my ability not being his friend anymore, more often than I probably should. Actually, I know perfectly well I shouldn't be checking it at all. It's horrible. Besides that, the way my life is right now is amazing. In our home life, it's almost like nothing ever happened. As a couple, we're doing really well, which also makes me feel horrible and guilty. I feel like I haven't properly suffered for what I did yet, and that he forgave me too quickly. But I can't seem to talk to him about that because I don't want to rain on his parade. I don't want him to know I'm still dwelling if he's just fine and moved on. I'm worried if I bring any of this up, it will stir up all those horrible feelings from the day he found out. I'm not sure why I wanted to post this. Maybe I need some help figuring out whether to bring it up to my husband and how. Or I just needed to get it out. It all really is eating away at me. Any advice or words of wisdom would be amazing. Comments. Just wanted to add another voice to the therapy chorus. Sounds like you need to figure some stuff out, like why you cheated and how it happened, so you can see when you're heading into trouble in the future. It could also help you figure out how to ask your husband why he forgave you quickly. If it helps any, focus on it not being like nothing happened to him. Think of it like, he loves me and he's not leaving me. But now he can't trust me like he used to. Might help when you're trying to make yourself cut out the other guy. I wonder if you would pull the trigger on real-life in-the-flesh infidelity, because it sounds like maybe you and your computer need a break. I can't believe I'm even saying this. But don't bring your feelings of loss about this guy to your husband. Just get out of the house, stick to your girlfriends, and find ways to distract yourself. The longing will subside, so will the guilt.